This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello humans, and thank you for joining me in another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, smash the like button. Now, let's get ready for the show. On today's episode... Hello humans, and welcome to another very special episode of Gen X Gamer. I've ordered my Intellivision Amico, and because of that, I'm going to celebrate by telling you a story, a very special story of the summer 1984. Oh my gosh, guys. Well, let me tell you a couple of things about myself. One of them is when I was a freshman in high school, I wasn't all that popular. But one thing I had going for me that summer is this started coming out, right? I had a beard that just came down to here, like I had the little mustache going down to here. It wasn't all the way to the top, but it was like a line, like I could shave it and I would look older because I had facial hair. And I decided to grow it over that summer. I was going to summer school. Why was I going to summer school? Because of remedial purposes? No. I was going because I wanted to graduate early so I could work and, help out in the house. So anyway, here comes the summer of 1984. Painting the picture for you guys. This is the time of the great video game crash. We were out a year from it. And my friends really wanted to go to this party, and I was still kind of nerdy. I always wanted to do the right thing, always paranoid about everything. And my friend had a weekend with a house to himself. A house in a very nice neighborhood with a swimming pool. It was Fast Times at Ridgemont High, baby. Yeah. And it was awesome, guys. But I was afraid. I was afraid to go because I didn't want to get in trouble, because I knew my friends were the more, they were risk takers. They were risk takers, but the way they convinced me is my friend had an Intellivision. He had an Intellivision, a system I did not have. And I always wanted to play it. So I said, yeah, And at this point, I thought it was just going to be us guys hanging out, stroking our facial hair that was coming out. And just hang out and play video games. And go swing, And that was not the case. I get there, and I got there early, around 2 o'clock. And of course, we go straight to the room because that's what I want. I want to see the Intellivision. That's all I was talking about, right? So I played with my friend. My friend, the guy that's throwing the party, this guy, at that point, was living the dream, right? He's like the richest one of us. He's just regular middle class, but in the neighborhoods we were growing up, he was the rich guy, right? And he had a house with a swimming pool, and his parents weren't home, and it was just awesome, right? So I'm up there playing, and he beat me at football, and he was punking me and stuff like that, and I was kind of getting mad, but I didn't really want to get mad because I was playing Intellivision. That's all I cared about. So after 20 minutes, they got bored and they were out, and I stayed there with the game. This fool had 20 some odd games, right? But he only left the football out, and that's what I was playing, and I stayed there playing for an hour and 20 minutes. It's a long time. As I'm playing up there, I start hearing voices and more voices, and finally my friend comes over. He's like, dude, come on, you're missing the party. And I get downstairs, guys, and oh my God. It was Fast Times at Ridgemont High, baby. Oh my gosh. Women in bikinis, booze everywhere, people getting crazy, people hooking up, right? And at this time, I'm still a timid guy, right? I just finished being a freshman. And it was getting crazy. And I had invited a friend, and he's already hooking up with one of my classmates' sisters, because a lot of our classmates came that he had invited, but they would have to bring their sisters, and they would bring other women there, and it's just like, it was awesome. That was our very first house party of many, many, many that we threw throughout high school after that one. But this is our first one, okay? So I get down there, and my friend's like, oh, dude, you gotta be my wingman. And, you know, he's trying to meet somebody, and I'm just happy I'm there, you know? I'm just happy I'm looking at bikinis, you know? I mean, this is not a typical occurrence for me. I'm in the house of the cool people at high school in a party, which not a lot of people are invited to. And the only reason I'm there is because I'm friends with my other friend, and he convinced me by going to play the Intellivision, right? So anyway, so we're there, and everybody starts matching up, hooking up, whatever. My friend hooks up with somebody. He takes her to her car, because these girls are older. Some of these girls have cars, you know? They're driving. You know what I'm telling you? For high school, for freshmen, sophomores in high school, this is getting awesome, right? But I'm sitting there, and then my friend hooks up with the girl that I really like. So I was like, So I'm like, I'm just sitting there, man, like, geez. And I'm sitting there pretending to drink a cooler because he gave me something to drink, but I didn't really drink, nor did I want to drink, right? I wasn't into booze back then. So I'm sitting there with the cooler, and all of a sudden comes this girl, very cute face. And the reason I call this Fast Times at Intellivision High is because this girl, her face was like Phoebe Cates. More like Phoebe Cates now, you know, because she's a little bit bigger. But she was a full-figured woman already. You know, she's like 17, you know, and I'm barely turning 15 this summer, you know? Yeah, 15. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, she makes a V-line for me, and she starts telling me, oh, you know, I like guys with a beard and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm like Beavis and Butthead, you know, when they start seeing chicks. But I'm trying to play it cool, like I'm having this drink, right? And she took over, of course. She was the more experienced one, and she was going to show me what this beard was meant for. And man, everybody was like, what? Like, you hooked up with her? Like, everybody, like, at the party, people were saying, like, I can't believe these guys are hooking up. Like, she's hooking up with him? So yeah, guys, and she had a car and everything. And man, after that, right, like, she came over, we hooked up, she drove me home, and she was like, okay, now we're dating. Like, that was it. Like, so in the beginning of my sophomore year, my girlfriend is a senior. And I'm like, yeah, baby, this is me. So my status in campus just, whoo, right? So that is my connection to the Intellivision, and my high school years were freaking awesome. Amazing. That is just the first party. There were many, many other parties from that one, because our parties became wait for it, legendary, baby. Oh my gosh. But it all started with that, and she was such a pretty girl. Oh my gosh. She had the biggest assets that I had ever seen. You know, she was like beyond my league, way out of my league, guys. Why she poked me, yeah, that too. Why she picked me that day, God knows, you know? But I was just at the right place at the right time, and I went from nerd to stud over a summer because of a pool party. That is my first memory, my first true memory of the Intellivision, right? So I wanted to start off with that because people wonder, well, who's gonna buy this? A guy like me, right? maybe an older guy, maybe new people. You don't know. The real thing is we don't know who's going to buy the system. I'm giving you the reasons why I'm buying it, right? Because I have great memories with it. But whenever I'm going to buy a product, especially a new product, this is what I judge it on. And I'm going to say this as respectfully as I can, because my channel is not about drama, okay? I specifically am walking away from any of that stuff because I don't want my channel to be about that. So I just value opinions, right? On the one side, okay, I'm gonna forget, okay, because I don't want for you guys to think that I'm weighing this as a factor. I'm not gonna weigh Tommy Tallarico's history in the video game industry, right? Because I just want to look at facts. This is the fact, is that he puts his face out there for his product. Whatever his product is, he believes in it. So much so that he'll talk to anybody and put it to the test, right? That's what men do, right? That's what guys that are out there working do. You put your face to it, you put your word to it, and you stand behind your product. That's what you do. It's very hard to do, especially when people are criticizing you ahead of time or saying negative things. He still puts his face out there, right? So I value that. The man works, and he works hard. I haven't seen anybody outwork this guy in the industry. I haven't seen anybody that's doing a brand new system, launching it from scratch, work as hard, talking about his product and promoting it as he has. That's just a fact. I have not seen it. If you guys seen guys outwork him, let me know. But as of yet, I haven't seen anybody outwork him. The people that criticize him, without saying names and without being offensive, okay? What are they about? We have different kinds of people. We have people that don't show their face. That's a big one for me. You're looking at me. You know exactly who's telling you these words, and I stand behind every word that I'm saying. You may disagree. That's okay. We can disagree. It's not a problem. But I'm not hidden. You know exactly who you're looking at and who you're talking to. Number two, there's people who ask for money from others. That's a pretty hard thing to do, man. I would never do it. I would never sit there and ask other people for money for my hobby. I can't do it. I can't. I'm from a different generation, and I can't respect that. I'm sorry. For me, it's about work. There's only one person working here that I see, and he's outworking everybody. The third criticism is these games look a little casual. They look like cell phone games. Could be. So nobody's buying cell phone games, right? You buy them on your cell phone, maybe that's when it's going to kill the system. That's a fair criticism. The only problem is this. Some of the guys making the criticism are selling cell phone games. They're making money off the ads, or they're selling the games themselves. So, you know, if I have to weigh the two opinions, I would go with the guy that puts his name behind it, that he says it with his chest. That's just me being street, being real with you guys, and without being offensive to other people, because I don't mean this to be offensive. I'm just telling you how I'm going about making this purchase. And here's the final factor. Let's say that it's all true. Let's say this game system fails completely, number one. And number two, they're also right about GameStop, and GameStop goes down the tubes. If that's the case, I'm gonna have one of the most collectible video game consoles ever. It's a win-win for me, baby. And at the last moment, if I ever get together with my friends and I bring out that Intellivision and we're able to play football and go over those parties, that is going to be priceless. Priceless. That's because I grew up with it. That's because I give the Intellivision name, you know, the legacy it deserves. And some of the games do look casual. I'm not going to buy those. But am I going to buy football when it comes out? Oh, you bet your sweet ass I am. And there's other games, right? There's other games in there that I want to buy. You know, there's going to be more like the Nintendo Wii. Yeah, maybe. You know, whatever. But I'm open to it. And here's the final factor. things may change, right? One of my criticisms, if I had to lay a criticism on the game, is I would say don't limit yourself to that $9 thing, man. Because there's great games out there that we would pay tons of money for if they were republished. A ton of them. I mean, just ask any retro gamer if you could go back and remaster some of the great games of the fifth and sixth generation. Oh man, that would be such an awesome deal. But it doesn't have to be, right? But things could change. And last but not least, modding. Tommy, I know you don't want it to happen ever, but trust me, it's gonna happen. So it's a win-win for me, man. I mean, for me, it's gonna be a positive experience. I hope to get the football game because that is just gonna be cherry. I'm glad that I was able to share this experience with you because, man, I'm telling you, those were some of the best years of my life. Having those parties, every time we were there in that house, I played the heck out of that Intellivision, even though it wasn't mine, and I never, ever left that house without a girl. All right, humans, that was my story. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to getting my Intellivision Amico. I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Boom! Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click the notification bell, and remember, never be afraid to be happy. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.